What is going on, everyone? Super excited to be going through this intro today. Kind of want to keep this pretty brief and short and very informative so we don't waste anybody's time. I hope you guys are having a wonderful week so far and you are crushing it in the gym and crushing it at home, crushing it with family, crushing it with relationships. I think it's all so important and it all kind of ties into being one. So wanted to hop right into this. Oh wait, let me share my screen here. Okay, so today I wanted to briefly go over mobility, joints, and stability. So this is something that I want to actually start emphasizing a little bit more. Now, let me- all right, so sorry, give me one second here. Okay, so injury prevention basics. So basically, before I kind of dive into this, this is something that like I said, want to start emphasizing a little bit more. And something, I guess, for me too, as like a 26-year-old, like I've never really had like injuries. Like I've always been very fortunate to be able to dodge them. And I don't know if it's just because I was safe or whatever, but I have had people around me, however, kind of fall like flies. And I've seen people be, out for months from the gym. And I personally just have never experienced that until very recently. I was at a soccer league, like kind of just like soccer league that I'm a part of in Austin. And I ended up getting my foot like hit pretty hard by another player. And I was like, it was scary because like I kind of felt like that throbbing kind of just like linger. And I was like, okay, like this feels a little serious, but I'm, going to still keep playing. But basically, long story short, I ended up basically like limping the next day, and like I could not work out. I could not even like put weight on it without it like really hurting. So it really allowed me to kind of like look within and to kind of like look and to kind of like look at I guess like from a different perspective, like a different lens. I was like, okay, like how can I ensure that I do my best to just prevent injury, and be able to like, be active, continue being active and have fun while taking precautions. So that's a little bit of what about why I kind of wanted to dive into this. And yeah, so let's go ahead and dive right into it. Okay, so basically, when it comes to basically like I guess preventing injuries, it definitely starts in the beginning. So I would say this is probably the most important part of your workout is making sure that your body is prepped for the actual working sets. And I know for me, like I've been horrible about this. Like I've been trying to be more mindful about it so that I can teach you guys, just because I've been really diving into the basics. And yeah, like it's very important, and it also like allows us to just perform better. Like I find myself lifting more weight, knowing that my body can move freely. So yeah, so that's one of the things I kind of wanted to note here. So basically, when we're warming up, we are basically setting up think of it like you're driving your winter time, right? Like it's like less than 30 degrees, maybe 30 degrees is like the high, right? And like maybe like where you wake up one morning, it's like 20 degrees, right? So what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do at 20 degrees with a car, right? Like you're gonna most of the time your car is gonna be probably like frozen with ice, right? We can't just like jump out of bed, jump into our car and like drive to the gym, like or drive to work. We actually have to prepare for that. So kind of like think of it like that, right? When you go into the gym, your body's cold, right? Like it hasn't warmed up, blood isn't flowing. We're probably stressed out from the day, so we haven't gotten the proper movement in. So think about it like that. So you got this car, right? And you want what do we need to do? So it's in the same method, we put the keys in, we blast the heater and we let it sit. So I really like that intentionality that we put in it, just because we know, this car, we spent a lot of money, we put a lot of money into this, we maintain this car to get us to allow us to go from point A to point B. So this is a very important vessel and we need to take care of it. So yeah, so I really love how we can kind of like look at our cars like that and really like care for them in that way. So with that being said, like I want us to look at our bodies like that and make sure that we are putting that same love, care, and preparation into um, when it comes to our bodies, so that we can allow us, again, coming back to just being pain free and injury free. So yeah, so just thinking of it like that. And at the end of the day, the goal of a warm up to should just be to be able to move like butter. Like I know when I kind of like just jump into something, like I'll kind of like feel myself like pretty tight, and I'll need some time to kind of get into that working set. And usually, typically, like maybe like a few minutes into it is when I start feeling it. So this is something that I want us to take at least five, maybe not even more than 10 minutes. I would say 5 minutes you could get a pretty good amount of work done. But yeah, I really want to start emphasizing this here. And okay, so then before I go over a little bit of tutorials here, I kind of wanted to briefly go over stability and mobility. So if you look here, so these are going to be stabilizing joints. So it's going to be our neck is stabilizing, our, I believe this is our, oh yes, our back. And then our, yeah, so our lower back is a stability joint, and then a stable joint. And then our knee is a stable joint. So for example, like if you have knee pain, you're going to have trouble with stability. That's going to be something that we are that we struggle with. And like if you've had injuries in the past, you will definitely like have trouble with like single-legged movements here. So that's something you want to note. And then the cool thing about this is, like, say like we have a bad back, or we have a bad knee, or we have a bad neck, what we could do in that case, since we are like limited in that area, what we can do is we can actually work on the other joints. So like the ones that are like within proximity. So for example, this is going to be the hip joint and the ankle joint. So these are joints that we can work on to basically allow us to keep our mobility up. And if we have like a weak stability knee, what we could do is definitely work, or a weak stable joint. What we could do is we can actually work the opposite joint, and just to kind of counter that. Of course, like we're probably not going to move like perfectly within this joint, but what we could do is work on what we can. And this is basically targeting people that have injuries or have had injuries in the past, and you're just like limited within that. And then same thing with this, like, you know, if you have a bad back, what we could do is, or a bad lower back, we can do some strengthening exercises within like the upper back and a little bit of hip mobility to kind of help us counteract that weakness, if that makes sense there. And then this was just a cool diagram I wanted to kind of like briefly show you here. These are all the stable joints. So our feet, right? Like our feet are stabilizing us, you know, when we're in a barbell squat. Knees are going to play a big role in that. Lower back, shoulder blades, lower and middle neck. So these are all kind of like things to just kind of like know, you know, going into a lift, knowing that these are going to be my stabilizing muscles, and these are going to be my muscles that are going to allow me to be more mobile. So this is something good to know, you know, when it comes to like the foundations and sticking to the basics of your training program here. And I believe that is all we have for this. I tried to upload the videos to here, but it was just taking a really long time. So what I did is I kind of just opened them up for you, and I'm kind of just going to briefly go over a little flow I did today in the gym. Just so it can be like helpful to you. You can see like how we can put this to practice. I will note here, if you check out Trainerize, I've actually put a mobility section. I believe I called it, let me double check here. Lower body prep. So this is going to be a lower body one, but if you check that out, it's about 9 minutes. But like I said, you could probably get this done within 5 minutes. And I did put 2 rounds, but like I said, like it's at your discretion. You know, do however many rounds as you need, and also like keep in mind with the time needed for the actual lift, so you don't run overtime. But you can go ahead and find this within your program. I will be uploading upper body mobility here later this week, but I was just able to get to this one. So yeah, so you can check out, this is some movements that you can add, and you can basically like create like a little flow, like do one at a time and then repeat. So yeah, so that's going to be some upper body prep there. I'm sorry, lower body prep. And then, like I said, this is an example of what I did today. Let me see if I can show you from the beginning. Yeah, it's kind of like out of order. Okay, here we go. Okay, I think you can see that. Okay, so this is me prepping here. Okay, so I started out with like a downward dog position. Oh, it felt so good to kind of just like stretch everything out here. And then from there, I went into, I believe I went into, I don't know if I have it recorded here. Oh, here we go. Yeah, so from the downward dog here, I did this is called like the greatest stretch in the world. I really love how it feels. Like I just feel like I can be really it allows me to just like, you know, release any tension that I do have. One thing to note here, if you can notice that I'm moving within this. So like these are dynamic movements, and you want to, this is what you want for before a workout. Like you don't want to like sit in a stretch for too long, just because it does it's a lot of tension on the muscle. Like the standing still stretches are typically what we like to do like at the end of the workout to cool down. But typically these are movements you want to do prior to your work. Like I said, these are dynamic movements. I'm not sitting in them too long. I'm staying moving. Like I said, the goal of this is to keep our heart rate up here. So yeah, so this was just, like I said, if you look into your, in your program, in that lower body prep there, you can basically just take a couple of those movements and create your own little flow. And it's fun, honestly. Like it gets you in like a good mindset to just like get prepped and, you know, ready. And, you know, this is really good with opening up the hips. I love this one for opening up the hips. And my foot is stabilizing. So like even if you had a weak knee here, this foot would help with stabilizing, and like the other knee here, and then I'm holding onto the wall here, would help with stability here. But obviously we want to work on our stabilizing muscles as best as we can. So like, you know, if our knee is a limiting factor here, then what we could do is we can stabilize more of the foot here, and then also the back. Yep. So yeah, that's pretty much all I had for you guys today. I'll go ahead and stop sharing my screen. Yeah, kept it pretty sweet and short to the point. But basically, like the takeaway from here is I want us to basically enter into our workouts with more intentionality, so that we can leave that workout just feeling good, and also at the end of the day, just like doing our best to prevent injuries. But yeah, I hope this was very helpful for you guys. Let me know if you have any questions or need anything like that. Like I said, the lower body prep can be found within your program. So if you want to go ahead and check that out, it should be uploaded already. And there's videos here of things that you could do prior to leg work. All right, guys. Oh, I'm sorry, I wasn't even sharing my screen, but you can find it within Trainerize. I can actually show you real quick. Yeah. Oh my gosh, this is gonna take me a minute. I'm so sorry. Okay, so I got, oh no, can't see my screen. Great. All right, well, if you go within your, in your workout program and you go to workouts and you go to show more, oh, there we go. Almost. Okay, so this is like show more here within your program. So you go to the 1, 2, 3, third tab, and it's like the little kettlebell here. And then, sorry, you can't see, but you can kind of see like the actual workouts here, lower body. And then you'll find lower body prep. And then you got all of the tutorial videos within there. So yeah, so I really believe that this is going to help us with our movements in the gym, and also at the end of the day, preventing injuries. All right, so I will go ahead and send this over here for those that couldn't make it tonight. And yeah, let me know if you have any questions, and enjoy the rest of your week, guys.